Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Glenn Calloway from the basement from Orlando, Florida, actually, Winter Park, Florida, which is just like a suburb of Orlando. Sitting in my daughter's backyard on a Tuesday morning. It's just gorgeous out this morning. We're heading home on Thursday morning. We'll be stopping in Roanoke, Virginia to visit my friend Sam and pick a few tunes. And they'll get uploaded. We have one more from 2 weeks ago when we were together to upload, which should be coming up in the next day or so, so watch for that. Um, Picked up a few more albums that I wanted to show you. Couple from that bookstore that I frequent called Bright Light Books, which I highly recommend if you're ever in this area. And a great store in Orlando called Park Avenue CDs. I love this store. It's got great inventory, man. It's just packed full of CDs and vinyl and some other cool stuff and books, and but just an awesome store. Unfortunately, I can't afford U.S. prices too much for new stuff. The CDs aren't too badly priced. I've picked up a couple of vinyl records too, but mostly this was CDs. I got a couple of used ones that I've been looking for and a couple of new ones. So, first from Bright Light Books, on the bluegrass side of things, another dollar CD. This is the Gibson Brothers, Ring the Bell. The Gibson Brothers are on the Compass label, which is owned by a great banjo player by the name of Allison Brown and her partner Gary West. So they have brought the Gibson Brothers onto their label, and it's just straight ahead bluegrass. It's their own songs for the most part, but yeah, great vocals, great banjo playing, great guitar playing. It's if you like bluegrass music, I think you would love the Gibson Brothers. I got that for $1. Another Ricky Skaggs. I mean, Ricky Skaggs is one of the greatest bluegrass players ever, and this one's called Ancient Tones. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I paid like $4 for it, and I thought I'd give it a try. Ricky Skaggs and his band Kentucky Thunder. So I can't really speak to how good it is, but it's Ricky Skaggs and he's playing bluegrass, so I imagine it's pretty good. The other things I went out last night after supper. So Park Avenue CDs is open till 10 o'clock at night, and about 8 o'clock last night, I just drove downtown in the rain just to check out the local record shop. So here's what I got. This is the reason I wanted to go there. I've been dying to get this album, and then I saw Mazzy talking about it, and then I really wanted to get it. It's Kurt Weill's new album, Watch My Moves. I've been a Kurt Weill fan for probably 3 or 4 years now. Have most of his albums. If you don't know Kurt Weill, he started out in a band called War of Drugs, so he's kind of like, I guess you would define him as an indie rocker. He left War on Drugs quite early on and started his own solo thing, and he's put out quite a few albums. I'd say he's probably got 7, 8 albums out, and this is his latest, Watch My Moves. I've only listened to a couple of songs, but it's I would say it's very kind of, I don't know, kind of peaceful and dreamy and quirky. Like he's a very quirky individual. He's got a kind of a I'm going to say he's a cross between Lou Reed's kind of talking, that style Lou Reed had of singing, and he's always talking about mundane stuff, like having a beer or laying on a hammock or something. But it's always interesting, and he's really good. He did an album. There's a female artist from Australia named Courtney Barnett. I don't know if you're aware of her. She's another, like, I guess, indie rocker, singer, songwriter. I don't know how to define her, but I'm a fan of hers as well. She almost has the same kind of mentality as Kurt Weill and does the same thing. She writes about the mundane and makes it very interesting and funny and quirky. And they did an album together called Lotta Sea Lice that came out about 5 years ago. It's a really cool album. You should check that out. Courtney Barnett and Kurt Vile. But this album, from what I heard, the first 2 or 3 tracks was really good. Mazzy really loved it, so that's pretty cool. Brandi Carlile. Now, I have this thing about me that I can get turned off an artist or a band by the name. I'm actually going to do a video on my best and worst band names. But my thought is, if a band name turns me off, I figure the band's going to suck, or I don't pay any attention to them. It's really weird. So Brandi Carlile, when I hear the name, it reminds me of, like, I'm going to be hearing, I don't know, some real country artist that I'm not going to like too much. Just the name, I don't know why. But anyway, when Brandi got Joni Mitchell up on stage at Newport recently, it kind of piqued my interest in her, thinking, well, maybe there's more to this woman than I'm giving her credit for. She's a huge Joni supporter and obviously inspired by her. So I started looking at Brandi Carlile albums, and when I was at Park Avenue CDs last night, I found this one, In These Silent Ways, used. So I picked it up and I threw it in the CD player when I got in the car. Man, was I impressed. She's got an incredible voice. She writes incredible lyrics. The songs are great. Some are acoustic guitar driven, some a little more produced with other instruments, but man, I am so impressed. I may have found discovered an artist that's been around for a while that I really like. This is she's got 7 albums out, and this one came out in 2021. It's called In These Silent Days. But if you've never listened to Brandi Carlile, check her out. Man, she is so good. Getting back to Ricky Skaggs, I was at Telluride Bluegrass Festival in Telluride, Colorado, back in 2008, and I saw Bruce Hornsby and Ricky Skaggs together there. Incredible performance. These guys are such great musicians, and I found this album, Ricky Skaggs and Bruce Hornsby Live, Cluck Old Hen, came out in 2013. There's a picture of Bill Monroe on the cover. That's pretty cool. There's Ricky and Bruce. Now, people just think of Bruce Hornsby as, the Way It Is guy, but he is way deeper than that, and he has a real love of roots music. And I actually saw him with Bela Fleck one time in Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. And they played a bit together and did their own shows as well. And Bruce is a big fan of bluegrass music. And on this album, they do a lot of bluegrass tunes. How Mountain Girls Can Love, Toy Heart, Bluegrass Breakdown, Darling Corey. They do The Way It Is on here. I understand it's supposed to be amazing from what I've heard. It's about a 10-minute version. Also, there is a song called White Wheeled Limousine, which was on an album that was kind of bluegrass-inspired album that Bruce did, and it's a great song. And they do that, and they do Cluck Old Hen. So I am quite excited to hear this. Last but not least, an album I've been reading about and dying to get. And Larry Graves, if you're watching this and you don't know about this one, you're going to like this one. This is Elvis Costello getting together with a guy he had a band with called Rust back before either of them, before Elvis was made it. And this is like an EP. It's got 6 songs on it. And it's called The Resurrection of Rust. And this is these guys getting back together playing the songs they played back in the day. So I hear this is fantastic. So we are going to give it a listen and see. If you're not aware of this and you're an Elvis Costello fan, you might want to check it out. I am going to be playing it in the car today. I think it's going to be real good. So that's about it. I don't have much else going on. Like I said, we're leaving on Thursday morning. I may try and do another video tomorrow. I'm going to go to another record store in Orlando today that I haven't been to yet. It's called East West Records. So I'm going to check that out and see what's going on with it. And other than that, everyone have a wonderful day. We will talk to you soon. Take care.